Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are now 9 weeks away from half Ironman 70.3 Danang. This week is week 8 and this week happens to be my rest week. And so I'm going to talk about what happened from Monday to Sunday. So on Monday I did a very easy swim, just 2,000 meters, and I didn't have any intensity at all. On Tuesday it was the same thing. I just had an hour long recovery bike ride in the morning and I was averaging 49 watts. Wednesday it was another short swim. It was mainly a technique focused session. I did lots of sculling and kicks and single arm drills. So the distance I clocked on my watch was 1.2 km, but actually it's around 1.8 to 2k because of the drills. On Thursday it was another 40-minute easy run. Nothing too fast on the treadmill. And on Friday it was another swim. I started to feel good during the swim. I did some 100 meters. I managed to get quite a comfortable effort for 100 meters at 124 to 127 seconds. So on Friday it was a day my body really started to get better from recovering the past 4 to 5 days after the 3 weeks of base building. That's how I kind of guessed my 3 weeks of base building was pretty effective in stressing my body enough, because generally what people say is you should start to feel good on the Thursday or Friday or rest week, and since I only felt better on the Friday, hopefully my fatigue was stressing my body enough to give me this kind of results. Saturday was a 1 hour zone 2 bike ride, and the main set was a 6 times 30 second sprints, and it was a very short ride, just a tune up for the next day's Metasprint duathlon. So on Sunday it was a Metasprint duathlon. The Metasprint duathlon is a 3 kilometers run followed by an 18 kilometer bike, and then back to the 3 kilometer run on the same route. So I think I did pretty well. My first run I did at 3 minutes and 37 pace. When the gun fired, the rest of the guys were hitting 3:15s, and so I had to back off a little bit to make sure I don't die during the bike and the run. So I whacked the bike real hard and I averaged a speed of 37.1 km per hour, and I caught a few of the guys during my bike. But whacking so hard on the bike, I thought it was quite worth it because I managed to gain a few spots during the bike, but it was just a survival mode for me on the run. I was running around 4 minutes pace, and so I just wanted to keep consistent and just maintain my position during the run. So even though I gained 3 or 4 spots during the bike ride, I lost about 1 spot during the run. I'm 18th position overall and first for my age group. So that was a little summary of how the Metasprint duathlon went on Sunday. The totals for this week, right? I swam a total of 1 hour and 12 minutes. I cycled a total of 3 hours and 57 minutes, and I ran a total of 1 hour and 13 minutes. So that's only 12 km of running. So this week I spent 6 hours and 22 minutes on training. So generally a rest week could be about 40 to 60% of your highest training week. So for me, it's my highest training week is 18 hours. So my rest week can be around 7 to 9 hours of training. This week, especially after the 30 km run last week, I felt that I really needed a bit more rest, and so my volume for this week was only 6 hours and 22 minutes. I could definitely put a little bit more time in my rest week, but I guess that wouldn't really help much at all. So 6 hours and 22 minutes is one of the shortest weeks I've ever done this year, but I felt that the rest I had from this week was sufficient enough to get rid of my fatigue by Friday and feel pretty good on the Sunday for the race. So moving on, I'll still try to aim for my rest weeks to be around 6 to 8 hours of training. I don't think it really matters on the amount of volume you train on the rest week, especially because you don't have any key workouts on the rest week. The only intensity I had for this week was the 6 times 30 second sprint interval on Saturday, and it was supposed to be like a pre-race tune-up for Sunday's race. So I almost didn't have any intensity from Monday to Friday, and I think that was the key reason why I felt pretty good on Saturday and Sunday. So moving on from this rest week, we have also ended the base phase of training and we're moving on to the build phase. So the next 2 weeks will be build phase, where week 1 will have a lot more intensity than any of the weeks in base. I will do that by increasing the duration of each rep for each run or bike. So for example, I could do 5 times 1Ks instead of 4 times 1Ks, or I might increase the total duration at intensity for my lactic threshold. For example, I'm doing 4 times 6 minutes lactic threshold on the bike. I might increase that to 4 times 8 minutes, 4 times 7 minutes of lactic threshold work on the bike. And for the week after that, I will increase even further to 4 times 9 minutes, 4 times 10 minutes on the bike. So that will be a total of 40 minutes worth of threshold effort for the bike. And because in the build phase the intensity is really ramping up, I give myself only 2 weeks of build before another rest week, before another 2 weeks of build again. So I think the shift from 3 weeks hard, 1 week rest to right now 2 weeks hard, 1 week rest during the build phase would definitely help me get rid of my fatigue during the build phase because of the more intense sessions. So that's why in the race season, rest weeks are gonna be a little bit more frequent so as to recover to reach new levels of fitness for the race. So that's all my thoughts I have for this week. So if you like the content I've shared in this video, please feel free to smash the like button and remember to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!